how did you feel about this movie? And then you can tell us about the interesting theater experience that we had.
I enjoyed this movie while I was in the theater, but the more I've gotten away from it, like, the less and less memorable it's become.
Mm.
Just yesterday, I was thinking, wait, what movie did I even watch yesterday? That's kind of not good for the movie, but it's an enjoyable experience while you're in the movie. It's good comedy. There is a good message to it, but it just doesn't have that lasting power of other films that we've watched.
What would you say the message would be?
It's kind of like trying to like keep your own ideals and then like not trying to let someone change them. It's kind of prevalent when he's
even if you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
Because he does. Spoiler alert! In the end, he doesn't win. Mm-hmm. He basically he gets fired from his job. He doesn't get to print the newspaper on his own.
Yeah. He loses the girl.
He loses the girl.
The job.
He doesn't lose the girl.
He gets the girl. He gets the girl in the scrolling text at the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know, but
he still loses the girl.
That's still one of those things you watch a sports movie and they're like wrapping up like what this person did as they're after they did whatever.
Yeah.
They generally get the girl in the scrolling text at the end.
They marry and such and such. I feel similar to the way that Brian did. I feel like, but I was disappointed in this movie, probably because I love Fear and Loathing and I had high expectations. I think that in moments it was really funny. It's a movie that I feel like I would have really, really enjoyed if like I didn't have to talk about it on this podcast. If I wasn't like thinking about it critically. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If I didn't have to point out things like theme and stuff like that. If I could have just sat down and enjoyed it and had a good time and just walked away with a happy message. Because I think it's kind of jumbled in points. I think some stuff is forced. Like the scene, the LSD scene where the tongue comes out, that feels to me just, I don't know, it didn't fit. Think it was, but we had a really strange watching experience as well. So, which can sometimes really affect how you view a movie. I had some older people next to me who were narrating the film the entire time. Like literally to the point of where, oh look at what Johnny Depp is doing.
I don't think he speaks Spanish.
Yeah, they said that. They tried to say like, and I'm like, he said he doesn't speak Spanish. Like it was ridiculous. Or they're like, oh, I've seen him in other movies, and I was. Just
and then on the other side, there was a lady. There was a lady stretching her legs above her head while she was watching the movie,
doing yoga. The majority of the film, she's just sitting there stretching her legs, and we're just extremely distracting. Like, beyond bizarre to see somebody. You can't help but, like, watch that.
Yeah.
And in some ways...
Yeah, definitely.
In some ways, that's a knock against this movie, that a person doing yoga is more,
more memorable.
More memorable.
Well, this is... I saw this movie when it came out, and I was like...
Which would have been...
I was like, I know this is awesome, but I don't know why, and I never want to watch it again. And...
Okay, so that's exactly how I felt after I watched it the first time.
Yeah. It would have been 98.
Yeah.
98.
Yeah. And so I'm glad I've... circumstances have come together to force me to watch this again. And it was amazing the second time through. That line in the middle of the movie where he's talking about when you're in Vegas and you stand looking out at California.
Yeah.
And you can watch and see where that wave of hippie idealism broke and you can still see the high watermark from it. Mm-hmm. That, like, the whole movie rests on that line. Yeah. Because it's literally about how this sort of, we're going to change the world with peace, love, and drugs. Mm-hmm. And then by the time it gets a little bit later, it's just, we're going to just do a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
And, how that collapses and becomes this, this narcissistic, just sort of wallowing in, doing whatever you can to escape the horror surrounding you.
Well, the ending line was talking about where he says what Timothy Leary got wrong is that, and what left so many hippies disenchanted is that there is still something in control.
Mm-hmm.
We've lost control, but they haven't.
Yeah.
That, you know, there's still, like, we're all going on drug benders, and the rest of the world is
going on
without you. And it's like, you haven't changed the world. You've just messed yourself up. You know, and it's crazy because he's going to continue in that vein.
Yeah.
He's going to continue pushing towards that ideal, and that's what's so complicated and tough about it. But they're doing, and the host of drugs that they're doing, I mean, they're mixing, like, mescaline with acid, with alcohol at the exact same time, and then doing ether, which people don't even do ether anymore. People just, people stay away from it. Cocaine addicts are like, nope,
not for me.
Yeah. And they're doing cocaine, and they do everything from everything, and just the stuff that they, like, it can be at one moment scary. You're not sure if Benicio del Toro is going to kill him.
Yeah.
To the next minute, like, hilarious, you know, because he's chopping up oranges, or, like, it's, you know, there's lizards all over the place, and the next minute the lizards are in a blood orgy. And it gives you that full sense of, like, how losing control could be really cool, but it would be scary as hell.
Mm-hmm. Terrifying.
Yeah.
The Rum Diary or Mission Impossible?
Dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
I remember, like, as a kid, I thought Mission Impossible was, like, the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, same here.
Because Emilio Estevez gets his, like, face crushed, like, in that elevator. And that may have been one of the first times.
That's for making 3 Mighty Ducks movies.
Like, that whole beginning sequence where his team is just getting taken out.
Yeah.
Does a really good job of making you, like, you don't know what the heck is going on. And you really, I think it does.
Yeah, well, it's one of the first movies I saw where, like, I was really surprised by the ending, and I didn't know what was happening, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. I didn't know you could do that with an action movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that was probably more due to my inexperience than any real brilliance in the film. But, you know.
I think there's some brilliance in it. Yeah.
I do too. So that's why I'm actually having a difficult time, because
and it was,
I saw Mission Impossible 2, and
which
that
is just straight up John Woo shooting crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
great stunt work.
And
Mission Impossible 2 is a huge guilty pleasure of mine, because I fully recognize it as just like a crap action movie.
Yeah.
But my goodness, it's like, it's great.
You know,
action.
I mean, the first Mission Impossible sets up an action movie can be smart.
It can be smart. And then my 2
and the second one, they're like, screw that.
Yeah.
We don't need brains.
Yeah.
Unless they're splattered across the road. So I was so disappointed, and some of that unfortunately does overshadow Mission Impossible 1.
Yeah, because
now it's a franchise, and
it is clearly become just an action franchise. Yeah. With Mission Impossible 3 more concerned. Mission Impossible 3 gets a little bit smarter. I hate that.
I think.
What movies are we talking about again?
I think Mission Impossible
and the Rum Diary.
To me, I think it's just been like. Just dragged down by its sequels.
Yeah.
And while I know I'm not supposed to like keep that in mind when I do it, it's hard not to. So I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah, no, if that's where you are.
If I submit this to the watch test, I'd rather watch the Rum Diary.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm still going Mission Impossible.
You're going Rum Diary?
Yep.
Well. I think I'm gonna have to go Rum Diary. It's unfortunate. I probably regret my decision tomorrow, but I got beer goggles on, and Rum Diary is looking mighty hot.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
Will Smith battle. All right.
Ooh.
This will be the last one.
Okay.
Hitch or Independence Day?
Oh, come on. This isn't even difficult.
Funny story about Hitch, though. We were like, I think it was in college, probably sophomore, junior year, whenever this came out. I don't even actually care about being accurate.
Freshman year.
Yeah. And we were all gonna go. It was like a guys' night out, so we were all gonna go see some movie. We didn't know. We didn't know.
I see where this is going.
We didn't know. horrifying.
Legitimately yelling at you. Though,
Yeah.
As James Earl
Boggles
Jones.
my mind that Lucas is like, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing that. This is good. This is good filmmaking. It's just, you know what it is, Lucas? It is a large middle finger to everybody. Is what those movies are.